Biden's idea beats Trump. Not really, I'm saying it. Vice President Harris, the Democratic default nominee for President of the United States, due to circumstances, mostly Biden's health decline, has actually come up with the winning strategy for the election. It came out, it started this past January, February, where Trump was baited on the border issue. The Biden administration, probably Joe Biden himself, decided to make an agreement with the Republicans in Congress about immigration at all costs. Donald Trump does not know how to run without the immigration idea, immigration crisis forefront. So they decided to make a deal with the Republicans, give them everything they wanted in a immigration deal, and a very Republican, very strong bill was drawn up, and bipartisan support with possibly 65 or 70 sponsors in the United States Senate, a filibuster-proof majority. The hope of the Biden administration was either that they would get credit for the bill passing, and they'd knock the immigration issue down after basically 3.5 years of neglect. I don't think 15 million people crossed the border. I'm not sure if even 5 million people crossed the border, but the bottom line is the law was creating an incentive. You didn't end up in jail. The risk, the biggest risk about crossing the border was drowning in the river or dying of thirst. If the immigration bill was passed, then Biden would get credit for a bipartisan compromise. Sounds good, right? But what they really hoped was that they would get that Trump would kill the compromise in a public way because he doesn't know how to run for office without immigration issue. And that's exactly what happened. The Republicans ex post facto claimed that the bill was flawed. They wrote it. It was stronger than anything that could pass. It's stronger than anything a Democrat would sign except in desperation to make the issue go away. But that's the whole point. The issue made Biden desperate. He was 20 points behind in all polling in January and December of last year and January this year. It was the perfect bill for the Republicans. It was what they wanted. The problem was the timing. It came during Biden's administration, and that scared Donald Trump. So he called it to be killed, and it died. The plan was for Biden to bring up the issue very strongly every time and not run away from the issue. They issued an executive order in May because, again, they were desperate and the polls were dropping. But they also wanted to be able to, every time Donald Trump whined about it, be able to say, look, what I did with executive action, our bill would have been better, but Donnie killed it. Donald killed the bill. Donald killed the bill. Donald killed the law to solve the immigration crisis because he wanted the issue in the election. So, the arguments against it are awesome. Why did Donald kill the bill? Well, because he cares more about getting elected than he does about solving problems for America. We've known that for a long time on the Democratic side of the ledger. Now he's making it official. So now we have the situation. The problem was Biden wasn't very good at communicating the idea, but he set the political trap very nicely. And it was over a period of weeks. Negotiations started over tying the immigration bill to aid to Israel and aid to Taiwan and aid to Ukraine in October of 2023. The trap was laid, and Donald walked into it, and then snap, it grabbed him. And now, interesting enough, a communicator who is able to think on her feet has decided, that's Vice President Harris, by the way, has decided that she's going to lean into the issue, knowing that immigration is a vulnerability of the Democratic side, and she doesn't hope it goes away. She goes straight at it. First attack against Trump is, we had an immigration deal, and he killed it because he cares more about getting elected than he does about solving the problem. Boom. Biden traps Trump. Harris locks the cell door. He's stuck there. And the general attitude is, if it's a problem for the Biden administration, it's a problem for Harris. She says, look, we do the best we can. Immigration being the example child of the situation. We did the best we could. We've dropped border crossings 40%. We'd have preferred our bill, our Republican bill. It could have passed. It had a filibuster-proof majority. But hey, we could do it. We could do it Mr. Trump's way, and that was he needed the issue. So, because of his narcissism, because of his situation, he killed the immigration bill. The issue, in which at the end of the Biden campaign run in late July, the Democrats were 16 points behind Donald Trump. The Democrats are now less than 5 points behind Trump on immigration. The gap on the economy has decreased as well, simply because of Harris and Walz's Joy campaign. But this is a single issue video, and I'm going to restrain myself to that one issue. But it was a well done trap. Biden's idea beats Trump. Period. If you like this idea, please press the subscribe button. Better yet, hit the notify button. Hit the subscribe button, then the notify button. So every utterance that comes out of my mouth will be in your box the minute it gets put up there. I'm releasing once or twice a day. I'm hoping, because I observe the Jewish Sabbath, to have one opinion piece that appears on Saturday during the day, which will be very clear that I recorded in advance. That may not always happen. So you're looking at my analysis of politics. Now, I've been watching American politics for 55 years. I remember when Nixon was in office. I don't remember Johnson, but I remember when Nixon was in office. I was very upset when he got sick and had some blood vessel problems soon after resigning. And I was kind of against him resigning. I didn't understand what he'd done wrong. I do now. When he resigned, I was 8, 9 years old. So if you like this stuff and you want to decrease my wife's hold over me, she currently holds 1/5 or 1/6 of the subscriptions of this channel. Hit the button. I got good sources. I got good sources in Israel. I got good sources in the United States, and I am a long-time middle-of-the-road person. I voted for Ronald Reagan in my first presidential election. I voted for his vice president, Herbert George Walker Bush, my second election. I voted for Al Gore. I voted for George Bush in 2004. And I've been a registered Democrat most of my life. Give it a try. I think you'll like to add me to your podcast list. And I can make these things come in under 10 minutes. I'm at just under 8 minutes. I'm going to stop before 8 minutes. Beep, 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 beep. Stop.